Hey everyone, it's 10 Types, and today I'm going to be taking a look at cards and decks from the new set, Night Wanderer, which is out in Japan. It is Scarlet and Violet 6A, so it's a mini set, and we'll be getting it in the Shrouded Fable set, which will be in a month, 2 months. I don't remember when it is, but it's coming up. It's the next set we're getting, and it's pretty interesting. The cards to watch out for are really the 4 Darkness EXs, and we're going to talk about them. And also, these are just images of decks, so I don't know if I'll be able to figure out what's going on in all these decks. Like, I don't know what all these cards are. What's this green card? Because Japan does have different arts, and some I'm just not as familiar with, like this rare candy art. Um, yeah, I know it like isn't art, but if I just saw like the upper right corner, I probably wouldn't know what it is. And people do not show their cards clearly, unfortunately. I mean, I guess they do it to like show like, oh, I was playing Charizard. So this is Charizard EX though. Charizard EX, classic Pokemon. If you play standard, it just, attacker, big damage, all that good stuff. With Pecker on EX here. And I believe Binding Mochi is the card here. And so Pekron EX here. Oh, this is not in English. Pekron EX, its ability says once during your turn, you can switch your bench Darkness Pokemon to the active, other than a Pekron EX. And then you have an attack, but we won't talk about that right now. You can use it here, but seems a little sketchy. And then, oh, and the list does run Fizzdipty EX as well. I just realized that. So this is interesting. Obviously, it's not that good, like just switching and then poison, and then you put your new active is now poison, so that's not so good. But then you could also use Binding Mochi, which is a tool card, which says if your active is poisoned, you do 40 more. So your Charizard EX, if you know much about Charizard EX, you know that it plays damage buffing cards sometimes because it doesn't always hit as much damage as you want it to hit. So, that's pretty interesting. And just for fixing damage, not always going to be the perfect numbers, but, 40 extra damage, always appreciated. And so that's just really nice. And Pekron EX also does switch, so it does help you out if you're against like Snorlax control or something. Then we have Fezandipity EX. It does have an attack that does 100 snipe for 3 colorless to one of your opponent's Pokemon, including their active, and can hit weakness on the active, so that's good, I guess. But then the big thing is Turn the Table. It's the ability. You can only use one of this ability per turn, but if any of your Pokemon were knocked out during your opponent's last turn, does not need to be by damage. So if they go in with Roaring Moon EX or Sableye or whatever, you can use this and then just draw 3 cards. So really interesting there. Really good card. We also see Rest. What is this card? Night. No. What is it? Nightly Stretcher. What is a Nightly Stretcher? I don't know. But put a Pokemon or basic energy from your discard pile just into your hand, which is pretty useful. And I don't know if there are any other new cards. There might be a new supporter, which is going to be 06 something. And by the way, 06 Scheme. It might be translated as 06 something else when it comes out, but your opponent discards cards from their hand until they have 3 cards. So this is really awkward to have to deal with if you just have a big hand, right? Or it just depends what's in your hand, but it can be really difficult to deal with, especially if your opponent like knocks out your active and just really damages your board. Outside of that, I don't know about any other new cards. Hopefully I'm not missing any new cards. As I said, I'm not sure what this green card is. I don't immediately recognize it. Or is that Force? Oh, I think that's Force Sealstone. Yeah, I think that's what it is. So, yeah, Charizard EX though, generally normal Charizard EX stuff with Pidgeot EX. Yeah, this one runs a Dusknoir. Oh, okay, this is interesting now. This one runs a Dusknoir. Okay, Dusknoir is a really crazy card. Or wait, no, is that Dusknoir? Is that where is it here? Or is that the yeah, that's Dusknoir. That's not Dusclops. So Dusknoir here has its ability Cursed Bomb. Once during a turn, you can knock this Pokemon out, which obviously gives up prizes. Not so good, but and it's a stage 2. But put 13 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon. It's an insane snipe card. Really fun there. Self knockout, but it does trigger like Roxanne or Iono earlier. Iono you can play anytime, but at any time you can play a supporter, but it does hurt your opponent more the more prizes you've taken. So that's pretty interesting there. This list is Dress Dragapult Zadu. I don't really see too many new cards here. I do see Nightly Stretcher though. And oh no, sorry, we see what is this? Is this the V-Star marker? And then we have Kyurem as well. Kyurem's an interesting card, and it says for what it says is essentially for 1 colorless, if your opponent has a card in their discard with Colress in it, you do 110 to 3 of your opponent's Pokemon. The ability lets the attack just be one colorless. So that's pretty interesting. Against Lost One, it just kind of wins the game. This is kind of weird of an inclusion, in my opinion, in this deck. Not that it's a bad card. I didn't see Kyurem in any of the Charizard decks, but I feel like Dragapult, you're able to spread damage against Lost Zone, but also Lost Zone spreads damage against you, so I guess that's why it's here. Especially with the build focused around Tatsugiri, which this one is, not this one. So here we see nothing else too new. It doesn't look like their ace spec of choice is going to be Neo Upper Energy as well. But this one's here is Cave. And we see a wide diversity. We see Secret Box, Hyper. Oh wait, what? This is Gardevoir. I didn't realize that I wasn't looking. So Gardevoir. This is that a Pheasantipity? I think this is a Pheasantipity Gardevoir EX deck. Pheasantipity does 30 for each energy attached to it, and also is immune to damage on a coin flip if it has a darkness energy attached. Its attack, though, is a psychic energy. Also, is that Mimikyu EX? I forget what that card does, to be honest. But yeah, we just got some stuff going here. Nightly Stretcher as well. And this Guardia list, this is pretty normal, pretty standard Guardia list. This one, again, pretty standard. Nothing too crazy here. I'm not super familiar with Gardevoir either, but it looks pretty normal. And then we have Raging Bolt. This one's Sandy Shocks, Blood Moon, Ursaluna. So this is wow, that's really interesting. So this is the new Blood Moon Ursaluna, which has its ability that pretty much just says it has an attack 100, but 30 more for each damage counter on your opponent's active. I don't really think you're going to be using that, but it could be used. But the ability just says when you play this from your hand to your bench, attach up to 2 basic fighting cards from your hand to this Pokemon. We see, unsurprisingly, a lot of fighting energies. And then Raging Bolt EX, really highly played right now, but mostly with Ogerpon. But here, what it does is it discards energy attached to your Pokemon, 70 for each one discarded for fighting and a lightning. So you do just play 2 types for energy, which is nice, rather than having to play 3 with Ogerpon. But Ogerpon, if you play the ladder, you just see this deck all over the place. But we see some really interesting cards here, really interesting new ones. We see the Nightly Stretcher. I'm not going to keep mentioning it because it's just a staple, but it is a solid card. But then we do see what is this card called? It's called Hourglass of Power, or Power Hourglass. I think I've heard it translated. But at the end of your turn, it's a tool. So if the Pokemon this card is attached to is in the active, you may attach 1 basic energy from your from your discard pile to that Pokemon. So the idea is you put this on probably a Raging Bolt EX, although it could be something else, but it doesn't matter too much. But probably Raging Bolt EX, it has the highest HP, and then you go ahead and you accelerate an energy to it from your hand, and that's really good because you need lots of energy in play, especially if you go first, or if you miss an attack. It seems a little, or I guess even if you don't miss an attack, assuming they don't knock you out in return, because you attack, you discard all your energy, then you re-accelerate an energy. Essentially, it is a little risky it's potentially not going to really do much of anything because your opponent might just knock out the Pokemon, but it's still interesting. We also see Genesect. Genesect here, its ability just says if it has a tool attached, then your opponent can't play any ace spec cards. That's pretty interesting. I don't know why it's specifically in this deck, but we do of course see a lot of tools. We see 2 Power Hourglasses, a Bravery Charm, and XP Share, which is another interesting card, and a Rescue Board, and yeah, that's pretty interesting. Really high tool counts without Arven. Normally you see high tool counts only in decks that play Arven. I guess VMAX played high item counts when that was in format, or tool counts. But yeah, this is pretty interesting. Getting value out of that Genesect, and I'm wondering how good that card actually is, because obviously if your opponent is really relying on an ace spec, it's huge. But it depends as well. Like Lugia V-Star can get Legacy Energy into play without it and stuff like that. This next list here is a bit more normal. We do see Secret Box as the ace spec as well instead of Prime Catcher like in the other one. And we do see a Pheasantipity as well to allow you to draw the 3 cards if you knock out last turn, which is actually really huge. Your ability should be on. It shouldn't be turned off. It's possible, but unlikely. And often the deck has like a terrible engine, especially like after turn 1, after you've Squawkabilly EX'd. So just being able to draw cards throughout the game is really nice. Also, one other thing, Genesect seems a little risky, or I mean, kind of sketchy because, oh wait, we didn't even see Squawkabilly EX. Okay, this is just pretty different. But you do have bench space issues. But no Squawkabilly EX, which is interesting. Then this next list here looks pretty similar again with that Fezandipity EX. Um, yeah, these two lists look very similar. I don't know if there are actually any differences. Um, but then this next list here is really hard to read. It looks similar to the other ones, more or less. And then this one again looks pretty similar. Nightly Stretcher being just a really solid card in the decks. This one even running two Nightly Stretcher. I guess a lot of these are running. No, so okay, these two are a little different, but this one running two Nightly Stretcher as well because you want energy retrieval style cards, but Nightly Stretcher can be like a one of like energy retrieval kind of. We see some other stuff, but whatever. And then we see Okidogi. Sorry, I just laughed at like just a random thumbs up, but that's not like that surprising, but just caught me off guard. Okidogi EX with Pekkarin EX. Pekkarin EX moving the bench to the active and poisoning, but Okidogi EX really interesting. 250 HP, high, but you poison yourself, so we'll get to that. But Crazy Chain, Darkness, Colorless. There's 130, but if you're poisoned, it does 260. 260 is like pretty good, right? It's certainly not bad, and you can stick on that Binding Mochi card tool, I should say, that I mentioned earlier. And we also see Bravery Charm, which is interesting. Um, and then you obviously need to be poisoned. We have Janine's Secret Technique. I'm assuming, yeah, there we go. 3 caps of that. It just accelerates Darkness Energy to two of your to your Darkness Pokemon in play. You accelerate basic Darkness Energy to each of them, and if you accelerate to your active, you're now poisoned, which is good for this because you need to be poisoned. And then Pekron EX also will swing that Pokemon from the bench to the active and poison it. I don't reckon is that Force Pheasantipity EXs? I honestly don't know. I don't know the alternate arts because they're not here on Limitless, and I'm just not very familiar with them. Oh wow, there's like Roaring Moon EX. There's a bunch of different things going on here, which is kind of cool. I think Darkrai V Star. I don't think that's for Pheasantipides. I think that's what Pokemon? What is that? Oh, that's Monkey Dory. No, is that Monkey Dory? That might be Monkey Dory EX. I'm sorry, I want to search for Monkey Dory EX. So to see if that is what that is. Because yeah, I wish they Limitless had these cards, but they don't. Yes, that could be. It looks like it is Monkey Door EX, and we see 3 caps of that, which is really interesting. If you have Pekron EX in play, then you give up one less prize when knocked out. You do 190 for 3 on a stage or on a 2 prizer. That's not that good, but on a single prize basic, that's really solid. Then we see Dark Patch, and yeah, just a really interesting deck here though. Then this other list is kind of similar with the all 4 EXs, I think, as well as Roaring Moon EX. By the way, Roaring Moon EX, it's one attack, it damages itself a lot, puts it down to 30 HP. Poisoning yourself, you might knock yourself out, probably not, but it is possible, so be careful of that. Then this list looks pretty similar. We do see Secret Box. Secret Box seems pretty good in this deck, to be honest. Because it seems a little inconsistent. So I think Secret Box could be nice, but you don't get a ton of value out of the stadium here. And then this next list, wait, I think I might have looked at this list. So yeah, this one running 2 copies of a Rangroo V. Rangroo V gets tools out of your deck. It's a weird card, but yeah, it's a card. And then it would see the single prize Monkey Dory as well to move damage around and essentially heal and do stuff. And we see Energy Sticker, which accelerates energy on a coin flip. It's kind of like Dark Patch for any type, but it's on a coin flip, and I think it's a little different. But I don't remember exactly what it does because I don't really see it played ever because it's not that good. This this is like definitely the same deck. And then we have Guillotine to restart with Lost Zone. We see Pheasantipity EX unsurprisingly getting put in again, as well as no, never mind. I'm just gonna say as well as Nightly Stretcher, but I don't know about that. This next list, yep, similar idea. Again, we do see Blood Moon Ursaluna EX and Pheasantipity EX. Blood Moon Ursaluna EX, not brand new, but it's out now. And a new card that from the most recent English expansion, Twilight Masquerade. This is yeah, similar stuff. I was like, what, Scraggy? I don't think that's in the deck though. Is it? No, I don't think so. What is this? I can't see what this deck is at all. That's Scrafty like can't be in this deck, right? I don't even know what that is. I forgot. Like Scrafty just has so many bad cards. Scrafty. Yeah, this is just a promo reward. I was thinking it's a promo reward, but so what is this deck? What are the fighting energies for? Oh, never mind. It's okay. It is an Okidogi list, which is kind of fun. Okidogi lost in a really funny deck. Um, yeah, if you want to learn more about it, you can check it out on your own time. But yeah, I don't think we need to talk about too much right now because it's not a new deck. Single price Okidogi. And then here we see the Pheasant Nifty EX again coming in really good and just like a I was gonna say no Mirage Gate, but two Mirage Gate lists, but this is a Cramorant Sableye list. Well, it's a Radiant Charizard list. I should probably just describe it as that with Radiant Charizard and less focus on Mirage Gate. You can Mirage Gate to Radiant Charizard. We see Blood Moon Ursaluna EX, and we see Pheasant Nifty EX as well as an attacking option, not just for the draw, but it is an attacker for that snipe, which is okay. Kind of having a similar value as Radiant Greninja in that sense, not to the same level of snipe, but it's pretty solid. Next we have Palafin. Wait, that's Palafin, right? Um, no, that's Flamingo. Oh, sorry. What? It literally says United Wings. I don't know why I thought that was Palafin. Um, so yeah, we got United Wings with the big new card, like the crucial new card, the Dartrix. What it has the attack United Wings, which does 20 for each card in your discard pile, Pokemon in your discard pile, I think. They're all Pokemon. I don't know if it says. Yeah, each Pokemon in your discard pile with United Wings attack. So you want to get a bunch of these in the discard. And so we see four Wattrells with that attack, four Murkrows with that attack, four Flamigos with the attack, not Palafins, and four Dartrix with the attack. And we see a 3/3 Curlia, a more Pico as well. Looks at the top card, you can discard it. Pretty interesting. And a Ditto. So really cool deck here. I don't know if Radiant. Oh, yeah, Radiant actually looks like he's in the deck as well. So overall, really, really cool deck. So I don't know what this card is. I don't immediately recognize it. Um, Yeah, I don't play IRL, so if you're like, why don't I recognize a lot of these cards, even though I play like all the time? But yeah, that's why. So, um, yeah, I mean, so pretty cool. United Wings, it's just a fun deck, and yeah, I mean, not too much to say about it. Again, we see it here. United Wings, similar ideas. We see one of the Curums, and we see Pheasant Dipty EX and Squawkabilly EX. This one runs all single prizers. Radiant Jirachi single prizer rule box Pokemon. Oh, we actually see a lot more. I was gonna say a lot more text. Yeah, I guess so. See Rabska and Manaphy, and a Kilowattrel. That one snipes. Kilowattrel's that. Oh, I haven't even thought about Kilowattrel. Um, Kilowattrel from Paleo Fates, I think. It does 10 snipe for each Pokemon you discard with United Wing. So half as much damage, but it does it as snipe damage, which is pretty interesting. You can technically snipe 150, maybe 160. I don't know. I don't think you can in standard. Use something like Zoroark, but yeah, it's pretty interesting as an attacking option, and a much better attacking option than it was before, because it was pretty underwhelming before. Here again, we see like a similar idea, more like fast-paced build. I think this is going to be a pretty standard build. We see Roseanne's backup. I always like that. Maximum Belt is the ace spec. I feel like Secret Box could be really good. I feel like if I was building this, I'd do like 4 Pokestops, Secret Box, and well, you need some tool. What do you get? What tool? I mean, you could do Forest Seal Stone. Forest Seal Stone's not very good because I don't know what V you'd play, but I mean, Forest Seal Stone's a good card, but I don't know if you play it. So I don't even see what tools in this deck. Oh, we see a Rescue Wood. I think that's it. But in only one stadium as well. Yeah, Secret Box seems kind of weird in this list, but still Secret Box, like it discards cards, gets lots of cards. It's a pure turbo card. So I'd play like Turbo United Wings. Because I think that seems kind of fun. I'll probably play that. This list runs Lightbard. It's essentially the same thing as Curlia. Not 100% sure why this list runs Curlia, not Lightbard. I feel like Lightbard's better just generally. It doesn't matter that much though, to be honest. And then we have, more United Wings. We actually see a Rowlet. I don't think any of the other lists ran a Rowlet. So Dartrix is obviously it's in stage 1, but it's also a grass Pokemon, and so it can hit Charizard DX for weakness. So we do see a bunch of weakness types to be hitting, which are all pretty solid weaknesses. This deck is not good against Dragapult EX, I'm assuming. I suppose you could outspeed them and outset them up, but that seems risky. Dragapult EX is a spread deck, so it's not as terrible as like certain spread decks were against like Mad Party and Nightmares, which were kind of the same thing because they had less HP. Flamigo is at like a pretty solid 110, but still a little bit awkward here. So yeah, Dragapult probably won't be so good for you, and it's not weak to anything. But you're looking at Lightning weakness hitting like Lugia V-Star, which is pretty nice. You have Darkness weakness hitting like Gardevoir EX. These weaknesses aren't perfect right now. They hit like Palkia V-Star, which doesn't see that much play right now, and UV Max, which is rotated. It's not in format. And then Dartrix, though, is going to be hitting Charizard EX, which is pretty nice. It's not the top deck right now, I guess. I mean, you could argue that it is, and I wouldn't say that's like not a crazy take or anything either. Most people probably wouldn't say that, but it's a pretty good, it's a very good deck. Um, then yeah, this one's like a little, this one's pretty cool, and it runs the Rowlet. So you do, it is stage one, so you need the Rowlet to be able to attack with the Dartrix, which you might want to be able to do it, you might not, and obviously is gonna take that Rowlet. Okay, now we're getting to the rogue decks, I guess. It depends what you call these. But Kingdra EX with Kingdra as well. Kingdra EX is a pretty interesting Pokemon. It does 50 plus 50 more for each water energy attached to it. Also, it has an attack that puts Pokemon in play into from the discard onto your bench, but it looks like you're not going to be using that in this deck most likely. And then there's another Kingdra from I don't remember what set the Kingdom's from, but it lets you draw cards. From Lost Origin, once during your turn, you can have either player shuffle their hand and put it on the bottom of their deck, then draw 4 cards. This is really interesting as it's either disruption or draw. It's probably better used as draw because drawing 4 is like pretty solid. But shuffling your opponent's hand down to 4 is like that can be really difficult as well at certain times. So I think that's a pretty interesting card. And obviously playing Kingdra EX, you can just play the regular Kingdra as well. Chien-Pao EX and Baxcalibur as well. So it's just kind of Chien-Pao Baxcalibur. This list is a Hero VMAX deck with Kingdra and Baxcalibur and Palkia. Wait, how many energies is this? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, I think. I don't know. This is where you put dice. People sometimes put dice on their decks to indicate how much energy they have. Like here, this is actually not 40, it's 4. I feel like they could have used like a regular dice, but or it's like relatively common, I think. I know I've seen it like sometimes. Maybe it's not like here you can see it. It happens sometimes, but usually it's not like that necessary because you can just count. But here it's hard to count. But yeah, you still Kieran VMAX, accelerates energy from the top of your deck. Again, this is like a weird rogue deck, truly. So yeah. Oh, and this just wait, does this run Baxcalibur without the without Frigivax? It does. So yeah, the first attack just lets you put water Pokemon from your discard pile onto your bench. You can use that here. I don't see any Frigivax. It might be here and I just missed it though. But yeah, pretty interesting deck there. We got Roaring Moon EX. It's running some of the Darkness stuff that we talked about earlier. Well, it's running Pecker on EX. It's like Roaring Moon. There's some interesting things here, but we kind of talked about them already. And then we got Scoville in EX. It's a mill/disruption card. Benefited, I guess, by Zerosic as well. But a bunch. Zerosic's really solid. And Unfair Stamp's also good for the deck. Then we have. So what is this card? I just keep. Oh, that's Earth and Vessel. So this is like so neatly organized, but it's still like, why is it so bright? Anyway, Dialga V-Star, pretty normal Dialga stuff. We do see Fezandipiti EX again as a draw engine as well as an attacker in the deck. So pretty interesting. BBX, Fezandipiti EX, Zamazenta, and then of course Dialga itself, giving you a bunch of options that are all pretty solid. Then here we got Regidrago V-Star, Ogerpon V-Star with 4 different Ogerpons. Okay. And then we do see the Kyurem, which can be copied with Regidrago. Okay, I forgot about this. Regidrago V-Star can copy Kyurem. I don't know how I forgot that, but that's so good because 5 energies is an absurd amount, right? Like, you're never going to attach the 5 energies. That's essentially, it's not impossible. You can like double Mirage Gate attach, which is actually doable. Like, you could put this card in Kazoo and Guzma V-Star and attack with it, but it's still really awkward and probably not worth it. I mean, 110 to 3 is so good though, but now you can copy this with Regidrago V-Star, so that's insane. And what are the attackers? I think Noivern EX. Is that Noivern EX? I think it is. Dragon Bolt EX, Hisuian Guzma V-Star, and then Raging Bolt EX, which is pretty common in this style of deck with energy switches, 4 different energy switches. And then you like Accelerate Energy to Ogopan. And this deck, similar idea. We do see a very similar list as well, I think. Here's another attacker. I don't. What are these attackers? I don't recognize this. What's this? Is that the new Haxorus? Um, yeah. So it's got the new Haxorus. This one doesn't, right? This one doesn't have the new Haxorus. I don't think so. So new Haxorus instantly knocks out a Pokemon with special energy attached, or does 230. 230 is okay, and then I think you can like middle of the top three cards of your deck. But yeah, that's like pretty interesting. One-shotting a special energy Pokemon. Like I was gonna say Lugia V Star. Lugia V Star you can potentially knock out in other ways. Uh, and also it's not necessarily the Pokemon that they have energy on. And also they might have missed energy, which will just stop that. So, just consider that. But yeah, pretty interesting here. And honestly, that's really cool. The not the Haxorus. Haxorus is like fine, but the Kyurem when Regigiga V-Star, really fun. Ancient Box, I imagine when you are familiar with this deck, if you play the game, it's just a pretty common deck. One that's I think that's a fan favorite. We got Blood Moon Ursaluna, single prize I mentioned earlier, and the EX with Iron Valiant EX. The idea Blood Moon Ursaluna EX or Blood Moon Ursaluna if you don't remember, it does more of each damage counter on your opponent's active, so you place damage counters with Iron Valiant EX and then just do big damage with Blood Moon Ursaluna. Pretty interesting there. Yeah, kind of cool, kind of weird, but kind of cool. We see that again here and again here. Then we see Conkeldurr, not a new deck. Is it really a good deck? No, it does use Binding Mochi though, so that's fun. How much does Conkeldurr? I don't do. I always, I mean, like this is just not that good of a card. Yeah, 250. 250 is not bad. It's not like a terrible card, but yeah, not doing massive damage. Also, what is this card? Um, what's this card? Is this some stadium that I don't recognize? Um, I honestly don't know what this card is. I don't recognize this one. Maybe it's something obvious that I'm just missing. I'm sure it is. And this kind of looks like Ancient Boost Energy Capsule, but I'm pretty sure. Oh wait, no, that is Ancient Boost Energy Capsule. Yeah, because it's the Among Us guy, which I forget. Broop on it. There we go. Then the what I describe as Frostless box. We see what's it called? Frostless Monkey Dory. We see Mawile. Okay, yeah, I have no idea what this Pokemon is. It's some fire basic. Is that a Moltres? I don't even know what Moltres that is. So, that is that's the Brilliant Stars Moltres. Okay, so you damage yourself. Wait, how do you damage yourself though? Because Frostless doesn't damage it. I don't know, but you damage it. You can Magma Mace into it, and then you do damage. It's like a pretty solid attacker. Um, So that's kind of interesting as an attack option. I completely forgot that Pokemon existed, because it just not, played very much. But yeah, pretty cool there. And then we see Cloth with Boop on it, and see some other stuff going on here. We see a Rangroovy to search out the tools, and Valiant EX for extra damage, and some other stuff. And yep, there we go. So I hope you enjoyed the video. He got the classic of me not knowing what the cards are. Well, I hope you enjoyed. Consider liking, subscribing, all that good stuff. And as always, I'm excited to see you in the next video.